Hey everyone. Today I will be doing a little rant about something that's been bothering me on social media. Because the internet is fucking nuts and people are really annoying. So I want to talk about misogyny and what something that really inspired this is a lot of talk about plastic surgery and women getting plastic surgery and whatever, and that's the big thing that's bothering me. So I want to talk about. I will be defending. Trigger warning. I will be kind of defending the car Jenners. I know it's not even because I like them. I don't like the car Jenners. I've never been a fan of them at all. Um, I think they're a plague on society, especially to black women. But anyways, uh, I will be defending Kylie Jenner a little bit because ever since she got in a relationship with Timothy Chalamet, people have been really weird about the way they treat their relationship. Like people talking about how, oh, I don't know what do they even talk about? They treat her like she's some bimbo. She's just some dumb bimbo, whatever, and she's just full of plastic and she doesn't do anything. Like it's really weird because like they're the same age. They're both rich. They're both in Hollywood. I don't really understand why they wouldn't have anything to talk about. I think it's incredibly misogynistic to think that way. And when it comes to other thing about like plastic surgery as well, is like the way people talk about influencers that have plastic surgery and people that treat people in general that have plastic surgery is like how they kind of treat women that get plastic surgery. They treated the idea of getting plastic surgery like that alone as like a moral failing, and I don't like that. I think that's really weird. I think it really kind of ignores the reason why a lot of people get plastic surgery anyways, especially women. It's because of insecurity and because beauty standards and the fact that beauty standards are constantly changing as well. You know what I mean? Um, I think that women getting plastic surgery, they shouldn't get such harsh judgment for getting plastic surgery. And whether it's, I noticed that whether it's botched or not, people treat it like it's so awful. People over dramatize how different they look because in reality, they don't look that different, really. Now, some of them do though. Like Shania Twain, she does look very different. Like than the last time I saw her, but she doesn't look bad or anything though. That's the thing is that she doesn't look bad. She looks fine. Like you know what I mean? Like people that just get maybe their lip filler a little bit too overfilled, and then suddenly everybody acts like they look insane, and it's ridiculous and completely unnecessary. Um, People always are waiting for any moment to make any slick comment they can about people that get plastic surgery. Like people talking about Miley Cyrus as well, because she doesn't also she does have like lip filler and stuff. I think she has buccal fat removal. See, I'm not sure if it is because of buccal fat removal or it's just because she just lost weight. Maybe she also has veneers as well that look like they may be a little bit too big for her mouth or something. But like she looks fine though. I don't really get what the huge deal is. Now I understand being annoyed at influencers and celebrities that lie about getting plastic surgery because yeah, of course, especially when it's really obvious, like it's not really something you can lie about, or also when they use it to sell products and like profit off of their audience's insecurities. Like when people sell like those diet teas, because I remember that used to be a huge thing on like Instagram, where people used to sell diet teas, even though that they're literally just laxatives, and that could cause someone to develop bulimia. And that's just one example of that. But people have been selling fake diet shit forever towards women, anyways. And then like I said, when it's like very obvious, or like Kylie Jenner, right before she started selling her Kylie Jenner kits, when she had got lip filler and then tried to lie and said she was just really good at overlining her lips, even though that clearly wasn't true. She clearly had got lip filler, and it's honestly sad that she was really young too. She was only like 17. It is sad to see people get plastic surgery at such a young age before their body even is fully developed. Like for example, like Mahu Shiraho, how she got a boob job and a BBL like as soon as she turned 18, and it's like that's not good. Your body isn't even fully developed at 18. I think you should wait at least. But when it comes to beauty standards and them being so people being so pressured, especially when you're in the public eye and you're an influencer, it can be really hard to like resist that, or like I said, people that just lie about it when it's just obvious. I know Madison Beer has been on record trying to lie about getting plastic surgery when she clearly has lip filler and a nose job. Now she looks great. She's a gorgeous girl. She always has been. She looks fine. Like she looks gorgeous. I don't really see why lie, especially when it's obvious, Or like Kate Beckinsale, who's I think she's in her 50s now. How she's clearly had tons of Botox at least. She's definitely got lip filler and Botox and a nose job. But yet she one time made a post and was saying that people were haters for accusing her of getting plastic surgery, which is crazy because she obviously has had plastic surgery. I don't get the point of lying when it's just very obvious. Anyways, and then there was something else I wanted to talk about that I forgot because I already made this video one time, but I forgot to talk about this. This is something that also has been bothering me on the Love Is Blind subreddit. When people in general discuss like the looks of people in the Love Is Blind cast, they always say shit like they need to cast more normal looking people, which I don't understand that criticism at all because in my opinion, everybody that I've seen on Love Is Blind, and this is about Love Is Blind US by the way, looks like a normal person to me. Yes, some of them may have plastic surgery, but like who cares? Normal people get plastic surgery. I see people all the time in the area I live that have plastic surgery all the time. I don't really understand this criticism. It just doesn't make any sense. Like I remember during season 6, people were hating a lot on Jessica for the fact that they just constantly bring up a lot about her having plastic surgery, and it just didn't make any sense to me. It was just weird. I just don't understand. Like normal people get plastic surgery all the time. Like They look like normal people to me, and also looks are subjective. They like I don't get it. Like you can't really you can't. There's no objective like normal looking people. Like that's not really a thing you can do. They all look normal to me. Anyways, that's just something I've always wanted to comment on because I never understood that criticism at all. It never made any sense to me. Then I want to talk about this isn't even like something serious. There's these influencers, these like fashion influencers, named Simi and Hayes Kadra that like what was that like a couple years ago got like a bunch of plastic surgery. If I had to guess, I think lip filler, nose job, eyebrow lift, and they also look more tan and also straighten their hair. They probably get it chemically straightened because before they kind of looked like Renaissance paintings and they had curly hair. And people talk a lot about how they look very different, which they do. But when I actually looked into it, because people talked about how they more like now look a lot like Dakota Johnson, which they do. But I think honestly, even beforehand, they looked like her. They still gonna look like her, and I actually don't think they look that different. I think the hair and the tan is what really makes them look super different. But that's not even something serious. That's just a little thing I wanted to comment on. So something else that also that's always that bothered me for years is this kind of over importance of you being unique looking that I always thought was weird. With not only with looks but also with style too. Like when people tend to hate a lot on girls that are basic, like have basic style and are basic looking, I just don't understand where that comes from because there's nothing wrong with looking basic. There's nothing wrong with looking basic. Some people just naturally may look just be naturally basic looking, like yeah, maybe blonde and have blue eyes and maybe white, and it's like that's not really their fault and have a basic style, but there's really nothing that they can do about that. I really don't know what to tell you. Some people just like having basic style. Not everybody is super eccentric. I just think it's weird to like make this like an over important thing. Like there's nothing wrong with being basic. Just like when people call people vanilla as an insult, I never understood that. One thing when it comes to Hollywood and how people treat women, when it comes to the whole thing of when a female celebrity gets mean girl allegations, like when people look at an isolated incident usually and accuse them of being a mean girl and whatever, it's like all downhill from there for that person. It's like people act like being a mean girl or even just being annoying, being seen as cringy and annoying is like it's like a death sentence for somebody in the public eye. And I said this relating to like Rachel Zegler and how she's been treated after being cast as Snow White because it's incredibly ridiculous how people have been acting towards her. They have been so mean to her for no reason, all because she said in an interview about the new Snow White that it's not 19 when did it came out 1937 or something. It's not 1937 anymore. Because a man coming up to a girl who's unconscious and kissing her is fucking creepy, just like objectively, and saying that she was scared of the movie when she was a kid. It's just so weird that y'all took that and just ran with it and now can't stop hating on this girl. And Disney is already setting her up to be blamed for when this movie flops because unfortunately, as much as I want to support her, this does look like a bad movie and Gal Gadot is in it and she's a Zionist. So it probably will flop, but like they really are trying to set it up to seem like it's going to be Rachel's fault, and it's not Rachel's fault. Rachel's probably the only saving grace of this movie, and it's really gross seeing the way people treat her because that girl has done nothing to anyone. And I'm not even like I didn't even really pay much attention to Rachel Zegler before she got cast as Snow White and before people started treating her this way like a couple years ago, and I have been on the defense of her since then because it annoys me. I swear at least like every month there's a new girl that everybody's hating on for no reason that I feel like I have to defend. To have to defend so much because it's ridiculous. Also with like Millie Bobby Brown, people have been treating her horribly for years. I used to be really into the Stranger Things fandom, and people have been so mean to her for no reason. They tried so hard to paint her out to be some sort of mean girl. They used to edit interviews with her and for Stranger Things and make it seem like she was talking over everyone. And they also, made those homophobic memes of her, which were stupid and incredibly unfunny. I'll never understand why people are so obsessed with those memes. And she has just had such a hard time in the public eye. People have recently been saying that she looks old, and I just don't get it. I just don't understand. Also with Meghan Markle as well, she's been hated since she started dating Harry. People have literally, this woman has done nothing to nobody. She literally could just breathe, and people will get so pissed. And it's clearly because of racism. Obviously, they're mad that a prince is with a black woman, and they aren't as a white woman. Because a lot of people that hate on her are white women, especially white older women, because they're just mad that they can't get Prince Harry, that they can't find their prince, and she did, and she's a black woman. How dare she date a royal member as a black woman? All I have to say is, I'm cheering on Meghan Markle. Princess Diana would have definitely loved her. Then but women in the public eye in general have been hating on a lot. Britney Spears. Well, when it comes to female pop stars too, Britney Spears has gotten the fucking worst of it. Britney Spears was treated like garbage during the 2000s. It was insane the way interviewers would talk to her even before she was an adult. Would talk about asking her if she was a virgin, and talking about her breasts and stuff. The way that she was very over sexualized. There's a cover that she did with David LaChapelle, where she was like, it was one of those photo shoots where they have someone have like innocence themed stuff, but then also be sexualized. And she was only like 17 in that shoot. It was very gross. Even in the "Hit Me Baby One More Time" music video, as much as I love that song, she is that outfit that she wears in the beginning is over sexualized. It does give off that sexy schoolgirl thing, and there were people hating on her for it. There's one interview I watched with someone about that, and there was an older woman that was mad about it and said that it was inappropriate and said that she'd shoot her. Like, which is insane. Insane to say about a 16-year-old girl. Like, what is your problem, bro? And then just how the paparazzi treated her in TMZ. I hate the paparazzi so much. I've always had a deep hatred for the paparazzi, especially because the way they treated Britney Spears and also Justin Timberlake. I hate Justin Timberlake. All my homies hate Justin Timberlake. Then what else do I want to talk about? Oh yeah, Blake Lively, the whole Blake Lively thing. People, did we not learn from Amber Heard? Did we not learn from Amber Heard? Just because you don't like Blake Lively, which I don't like her either, I think she's kind of annoying. I do think she's annoying, and I do think that she's a little self-absorbed. And I don't like that she used to have a phase where she was obsessed with the antebellum era and the fact that her and Ryan got married on a fucking plantation. I do think that's gross. Does that mean she can't get sexually harassed? No, she definitely can get sexually harassed. Did we not learn from Amber Heard? Did we not learn that you don't have to be a perfect victim? There's no such thing as a perfect victim. You don't have to be entirely likable and perfect to be a victim of sexual assault or sexual harassment and abuse. I thought that we learned that already, but I guess not. I guess not. But anyways, I'll wait for the fucking trial because everybody's been capitalizing on this too much. I'd rather wait for that. But believe women. But speaking of the perfect victim, people have been being so rude to Gypsy Rose Blanchard since she left prison. And because she has the audacity to not be a normal person, I guess, even though she went through years of abuse, and the first time she's ever felt any sort of community was when she was in prison. It's almost like that would make someone not act, I guess, normal, you know? Because I and people even going as far as to claiming that she lied about being abused, which is crazy because there's proof that she was abused. I don't understand how she could really lie about that. But I just don't get it. She lost all her teeth. She got her teeth pulled out. She lost all her teeth. You could literally see in her stomach, see where her feeding tube was that she didn't need. Her mom used to constantly shave her head. You know, they always have the, oh, why didn't you just run away? Because people think it's so easy to run away from abuse. They said the same thing about the Menendez brothers. They act like it's so easy to run away from abuse. It's not easy. And she did try to run away. She literally did. She did try to run, and her mom got her again and tied her to her bed. So what? Like, I don't understand what you want her to do. I don't understand this idea of people acting like it's so easy to get away from abuse. It's not easy. If it was easy, don't you think people they would have gotten away? Especially if you have a parent that has a lot of power. Like I said with the Menendez brothers, the fact that the Menendez brothers, their parents had a lot of power, where their dad definitely did, and they also did try to run away. Also, with Gypsy Rose Blanchard, her the mom had convinced all the people in their town and everything that she was mentally disabled, and she also was manipulated into really thinking that she wasn't, that she couldn't even walk, and so she went along with it because she was abused. Like, I really don't know what you wanted her to do. I don't get it. But anyways, on to the what was I saying? To the Bad Baby and Alabama Barker beef. I just want to say they're both cultural vultures. They're two sides of the same coin. I don't get why people keep standing up for Bad Baby. She's incredibly anti-black. Been on record saying she's incredibly anti-black. But that being said, it's not easy to run away from abuse. People getting mad at her for still being with LV, but it's not hard to get away from someone who's abusing you, especially after you have a kid as well. And also, she's been abused her whole life by her mom, and also by she used to be. I heard she used to be with Chief Keef when she was still a minor. He was an adult, and he also abused her. She even posted photos of it, and it was very, very graphic, like very disturbing. And it's upsetting. It's upsetting for her to be going so hard against Alabama. I understand thinking that at first for her to go so hard against Alabama, even though this man is abusive and bad for her, and clearly also mooching out for her because the fact that she has money as well. But like, you have to understand it's not easily abusive relationships, especially with someone like her who's been abused her whole life. I forgot to mention that Bad Baby has also talked about going to a ranch that Dr. Phil sent her to, where she was also abused. The troubled teen industry in general is known for being corrupt and abusive. Paris Hilton has actually talked about going to some place like that as a teenager and how she was also mistreated, and I'm pretty sure has even been trying to pass policy to combat this. But again, Alabama and with Alabama, I don't like her behavior. She definitely will grow out of this in like probably a couple years. I don't like her behavior, obviously, but I don't like that people are ignoring the fact that she's been taken advantage of by older men. I don't like that. I don't like the slut shaming. I really don't like that. Um, I don't. Uh, There's also lyrics in her one of her diss tracks against Alabama Barker called Miss Whitman, where she mentions something about Alabama having relations with Tyga, saying she fucked on Tyga and killing babies. I seen the sonogram, shaming her for having relations with a man who's way too old for her. Tyga's 35. Mind you, Alabama is freshly 19. She turned 19, I'm pretty sure, last December. And shaming her for having an abortion from a man that she allegedly had relations with who is too old for her, which I think is ridiculous. Also, again, with slut shaming, like I said, saying them NFL boys ran a train on you, now you on the team. How this bitch got 1,000 bodies, ain't old enough to drink. Um, don't don't fuck with it. I don't like that fact that even before she was an adult, she's always dressed more maturely, even though she shouldn't have because her parents are neglectful, and how people were just rude to her about it. I understand being concerned, but there's a difference between being concerned and then just being rude. Um, I think that uh, I think that I don't like either one of these women. Also, Bad Baby just released a diss track. What was that? A few days ago, where she said about Alabama, "You hang around with blacks." First of all, okay, but you're still not invited to the cookout, and called her a cracker bitch, even though they're both white. Like, who gave you authority to say that she isn't invited to the cookout? Bitch, you're not either. Who gave you that authority? Even though so many black people keep standing up for her for some reason, it's so weird. But yeah, I don't like this idea of being so keep bringing up all the dudes she slept with and things like that with Alabama Barker. It's like that's just slut shaming. I don't really think that works in this. I do think it's weird that she fetishizes black men though, and clearly black culture in general. But the last thing I want to talk about is like snark Reddits. A girl on TikTok said that she thinks that snark Reddits are basically like incel forums, but for women, and I 100% agree. Misogyny is so rampant on snark Reddits. It's crazy. They are every, and I know that's the whole, I guess the whole idea of a snark Reddit, but they are so incredibly nitpicky and hateful. Like even with something like I've been in the, and even as someone who has perused in snark Reddits, because I have, it can be really ridiculous sometimes, and people can reach a lot about certain things. There was one like even in the Travis and Taylor subreddit, I the fact that some of them will even go out of their way to try to defend Kim and Kanye over that whole situation that happened with her. I think that was back in 2016. It's so ridiculous. Like I don't like Taylor, but defend Kim and Kanye is crazy. And sometimes they'll even act like she was ridiculous for being upset about the whole Kanye interrupting her or whatever, even though she was a teenager and it was at the start of her career. And I think that was one of the first awards she got as well. And it's ridiculous that they acted like she was wrong for being upset about that. Like he took her moment away. Like and there was also to go back to the beef that they had during the Snakegate thing in 2016 that caused the reputation era. The fact that Kanye also made a music video where he had a naked doll of her that he was in bed with, that's disgusting. I don't understand how anyone could defend that. Like that's gross. How could you defend something like that? I would be mortified if someone did something like that to me, and I would feel violated. But anyways, that's really all I had to talk about. It's just there's just things that have been bothering me lately. Um, thank you.